I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of BWT. Today I got my boy here with me, Davey Dallas. Thank you for coming on.
No problem. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a part of BWT. I think this is my second time coming on here. So,
yep. Give it up for the man. He's been a busy guy debuting his new show, Dave's Doghouse. Make sure you are tuning into that. Make sure you are tuning in to FFC, Fantasy Football with Coombs. Make sure you're tuning into CTC, Carl Talking College. We've got the Joe Jordan Show. And then we've got, of course, the main show, The Refuse to Lose, with Dave, Tomo, and Joe. So click the link in the description, become a member. You can be a part of all the chats. NBA is here. There's been some trash talk. It's been fun. Sometimes I just lay back and just sit back and enjoy the show. But then people get crazy and talk about my team, so I got to defend them sometimes. But, man.
Yeah, gotta defend them sometimes. Especially when your team makes it to the NBA Finals, you kind of can say a little bit of something.
Yep. So we got a special show for you guys today. We are going to give you our World Series prediction, and then we will give you our predictions for the Gold Glove Awards this year. So let's get right into it.
Let's get it.
Rangers and the Diamondbacks.
Not something anyone was expecting.
Dude, 2 years ago, they combined for 214 losses.
That's ridiculous.
And now they're playing each other in the World Series. The Phillies.
Didn't the Diamondbacks or the Rangers have like a 200-1 odds to make it to the World Series this year?
It was probably the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. I think it was like 200 like 150-1 odds. That's crazy.
Yeah. Quick little recap of the ALCS. The Rangers win in 7, dominating the Astros in games 6 and 7 to advance to their first World Series since the Nelson Cruz days. And we all know what happened in that World Series. They had it won, but Nelson Cruz just couldn't feel the fly ball. Right? David Freese comes up, becomes a hero, hits that triple to tie up the game, and then hits the walk-off home run.
And Cardinals win the World Series.
Yep. And then in the NLCS, Phillies blew it. Oh, my goodness.
Talk about a choke job.
Oh, man. Up 3-2 going back home for games 6 and 7.
Didn't another Philly team do that this year? Well, I guess it's just not good for Philly. 76ers was up 3-2 at home, lost 2 straight. Yeah. And then the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, lose.
Yep.
Sorry, but not sorry, Philly.
So with that being said, who do we got? Who you got in the World Series, Dave?
So I'm rooting for the Diamondbacks. I like an underdog story. I believe they have everything that it takes to be able to win this. You know, my guy Corbin Carroll, rookie of the year, I think without a doubt, in the NLCS. But I'm going with the Rangers. I think the Rangers win this series in 6. I think they're just in prime position to win. The way that they dominated game 6 and 7, against the Astros, who were the defending champs, and they made them look like they didn't even belong, and they just dominated throughout. The Rangers have they just know what they're doing, man. I can't say too much about them because their play says it all. So I got Rangers in 6, plain and simple.
Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering if you took my notes, man. I got the Rangers in 6, man. Their offense has gotten hot at the right time. Adolis Garcia, don't pitch to that man because it might go 400 feet. He can hit the ball down the right field line. He can hit the ball left, and he'll even pimp singles. And then their pitching, man, it's perfectly lined up. Nathan Eovaldi's got 4 wins in the postseason right now. He's 4-0.
Nasty.
He's been dominant. Nasty Nate, that's what they call him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dominant this postseason, so I expect that to continue. But Diamondbacks won't go away easily. They're a scrappy group. I love the way they play the game. It's just small ball. There's not really a lot of home runs, but they will hit one if needed. Especially like guys like Alec Thomas. Like, he's not a power guy, but he'll step in and take you deep. So I expect a very fun World Series. These games will be close. I think all games will be decided by maybe 2-3 runs. These closers and bullpens will be used effectively in this World Series. And another reason why I'm going with the Rangers is Bruce Bochy, the manager for the Rangers. Incredible. He was the coach for the Giants when they went on their run, winning 3 of 5 back in like 2011, 13, and 15. So he knows what it takes to win. So that's why I'm going with the Rangers, man. Hopefully they don't let me down because I just can't have the Diamondbacks win. I just can't. It'll be crazy to have an 84 win team win the World Series.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
They got in the last seed in the last day of the regular season. The last day of the regular season, they got into the postseason.
Man, can you say they got in by the grace of God?
I mean, their pitcher last night or 2 days ago was reading the Bible before going out there, so probably.
There you go. There you go.
But enough of that World Series talk. Let's get into the Gold Gloves, the finest fielders of the season.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go NL first. We'll go catcher. We've got Patrick Bailey from the Giants, Gabriel Moreno from the Diamondbacks, and JT Realmuto from the Phillies. Those are the 3 nominees. Who you got, Dave?
I got Gabe. Um, I believe Gabe deserves it. He's played outstanding for the Diamondbacks this year. He's one of the bright spots that they've had for this entire season. Um, him playing catcher, helping out with all the pitchers that they've had, calling most of the right ones. Even stopped a few stolen bases in the season. I mean, you gotta not saying that you have to just because they're in the World Series, but no one expected this team to get to this point, and he's one of the integral parts of this team. So me personally, I would give it to Gabe. I think Gabe deserves to be a Gold Glove winner for this season.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. Um, this kid has been playing some phenomenal defense. He kept the Phillies like he kind of scared the Phillies to run, and they've got some speed. Even on that blocked ball that he had when Kyle Schwarber was on first base, he tried to test him. He got up real quick and threw a dart and got him out, and that's what you got to do. And he's even like even with the pitch clock, like sometimes the pitcher can't see or they're just like too locked in. He sees it winding down to zero, puts his hands up, call time, goes to use a mound visit, you know, and that's huge because when the pitcher doesn't pay attention to that clock, it goes as a ball, and you never want to get added a ball into the count, give the hitter an advantage. Um,
Absolutely. I'm glad that they did this pitch count thing because it helps out baseball so much. Remember
y-
when games used to go up until like 1 o'clock in the morning? We like, dog, like
yep,
get this game over with, please. Like y'all are taking too long on the mound. Like just go ahead and pitch. Just get it out the way. I understand you want to make sure you got the advantage, but nobody got the advantage now. You
yeah,
pretty much gotta go do your thing. So
hmm
love the fact that he did because remember when we started it, this is before BWC even started. We started talking about all this stuff on the regular show and how some people were upset about the pitch count, the pitch clock and everything. And look at the great product baseball has put out just because of the pitch clock. So be happy,
Jerry.
fans. Be happy.
Um, let's go to first base. The three nominees are Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers, Carlos Santana. He played for the Pirates and the Brewers.
Mm.
And then Christian Walker for the Diamondbacks. Um, I've got Christian Walker winning this one. Um, he has played some great defense, making diving plays down the line, saving doubles. Um, his picks have been phenomenal. As an infielder myself, you got to have a first baseman who can save you on those throws in the dirt sometimes because not every throw is going to be right to the chest, and his hands are smooth. Um, so I'm going with Christian Walker. Who you got?
Freddie Freeman, good old Freddie. That's who I'm going with. Freddie, I had his stats up here. It's not the right ones that I was looking at. Freddie Freeman has had a great season this year, man.
And
He's actually low key one of my favorite players in the league. Um,
definitely hard to hate him.
it definitely is. So I don't even remember. So inning plays. How many double plays this man had? This man had 126 double plays this year. Crazy. Fielding percentage is almost 100, almost 100%. He was going bonkers this year
Yeah.
defensively. Only one error all year long. One. You know how hard that is to do in 162 games? And he played 161. He only missed one game all season long. And he has one error. I don't I don't see me personally, just me. I don't see how you give it to anyone else. Knowing that he he's played this well all season long. Um, 459.1 on innings on almost 460 innings played. So, Freddie, you got it, my guy. I'm giving the award to you.
Okay. We'll go to second base. We've got Nico Horner from the Cubs, Hassan Kim from the Padres, and Bryson Stott from the Phillies. Who you got?
Bryson. Um, gotta gotta give it up to him as well. He's also had a really good season this year. One another bright spot for a team that should be in the World Series, but because three of their best players did not play well. If you watch the Doghouse, I mentioned one of the guys. I botched his last name, so charge it to my head, not my heart. Uh, but Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and Nick. Those three guys did not play well in the last game. They were 1 of 15 in Game 7 when it all mattered the most. And Nick was 1 of 28 in the NLCS. 1 of 28, and the one hit he got was the home run he hit in Game 1. But we're not talking about him. This guy did everything he was supposed to do defensively this year. Helped the Phillies a lot. I believe if you're going to give it to someone, depending, and you look at the totality of the season and how it all played out, you got to give it to him. I believe he deserves it. I believe he'll win it. So, Brian Stott, go glove.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one as well. Last year he played short, and then they went out and got Trey Turner, so he had to move over to second base. And
Bryson Stott, by the way, I said the first name wrong.
yeah, so with that helps him out with the range, because playing short you got to have range. So really, there was nothing that really got by the middle infield, and he was making some phenomenal plays in the NLCS. Um, Making plays to his right, making plays to his left. It was great to see. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Bryson, and it's Castellanos. Nick.
Castellanos. Okay, got it. See
Yep.
now I can see it right. Nick
Yeah.
Castellanos.
We'll go to shortstop. We've got Francisco Lindor from the Mets, Dansby Swanson from the Cubs, and Ezekiel Tovar from the Rockies. I'm going to have to go with Mr. Smile, Francisco Lindor. That dude is incredible with the glove, man. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
he is. He is, man.
Shortstop. Um, I, he's one of the guys that I always look up his highlights whenever I'm in the mood to watch some highlights, and it's pretty often. His range is incredible. He doesn't have the strongest throwing arm, but he has a mentality of playing offense on defense, not letting the ball play you. Go play the ball. He was actually on Mookie Betts' podcast this season, and that was one of the things that he told Mookie to do, because Mookie was bouncing around, playing second, playing short, right, center all year with the Dodgers, and he told him that he really impressed him playing the infield. Even though Mookie came up as a second baseman, and then got converted to an outfielder, so he's played there before. But yeah, man, Mr. Smile is gonna add a Gold Glove to his collection this year, I think.
We agree here. Now look at. I'm looking at from last year to this year. So last year he played one more game. He played 161 games last year. This year he played 160. But if you look at how he played this year, last year he had 198 putouts. This year he had 181. But you got to look at everything else now. So he had 385 assists last year. He had 396 this year, playing one less game.
Yep.
Now he had two more errors. So he had 9 last year, 11 this year. But then you go to double plays. He had 83 last year. He had 98 this year.
Incredible.
He What more can you say about him, man? He had uh he had more opportunities last year than he did this year, and his numbers were a lot better. So Franny, Franny Lindor,
Yep.
Go Glove. It's all yours. It's yours for the taking.
And he's sponsored by Rawlings. He's got all the newest Rawlings gloves. If you guys haven't checked out his gear, he's got some of the flashiest gloves you'll see on the field.
He's like the Oregon of baseball.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Oh my goodness, his gloves. Go look at his collection. Go look at his Instagram. Wow. Now we go to third base. We've got Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Pirates, Ryan McMahon from the Rockies, and Austin Riley from the Braves. Who you got?
Austin. I'll give it to Austin Riley. The Braves were also another disappointing team this year who had one of the best records in Major League Baseball and just they couldn't do it. They lost 3-1 to the Phillies, which is just terrible.
It was my
But
pick for the series.
I figured that they were going to go. I think me and you both agree that the Braves will win it all.
Yeah.
But Austin Riley, I definitely don't put this on him because he played well this year. Now he only had 95 putouts this year compared to 104 last year. But he had 2 more assists than he had last year. He had 5 less errors, 18 more double plays, and his fielding percentage went up this year. So, and he played the same amount of games. Played 159 last year. He played 159 this year. He had just a little bit more more innings played. About 12 more opportunities than he had last year. Well, he had 12 more opportunities last year than he had this year, but I think he played well throughout everything he had to do this year. And he played pretty well in the postseason as well. It's just that the team just didn't play good overall. But Austin Riley, I believe you deserve to have a Gold Glove.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Pittsburgh Pirates. That kid impressed me this season. The way he flashed the leather over there in the hot corner was really impressive. And to do it on a team like the Pirates, they started off hot, and then they just went back to their old self when their shortstop O'Neal Cruz got injured. That was a big part of their lineup. And then their pitching got hurt a little bit, but he stayed consistent throughout the whole season. That's why I'm giving him the nod for Gold Glove.
Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
We got left field. Ian Happ from the Cubs, David Peralta from the Dodgers, and Eddie Rosario from the Braves. I am going with Eddie Rosario. He was making some nasty plays this year, coming in on balls, going left, going right, making some diving plays, taking away extra bases, throwing people out. He really impressed me all season. It was a shame that we still aren't seeing him play, but I'm going with my guy, Eddie Rosario.
I'm going with Ian Happ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Cubby guy. Ian Happ this year had 253 putouts. I mean, compared to last year, he had 277. But he had 4 more assists this year, same amount of errors, only 4 double plays, but his fielding percentage was pretty consistent to how it was last year. Um, Cubs is another team I believe should have played a lot better than what they did. I think they would have had if everything came together, they could have been one of the teams representing in the World Series if everything came together the right way. So I'm gonna just make it short and sweet. I just believe Ian Happ played a great season this year, and I think he should get a Gold Glove.
Yeah, with the Cubs, they started off slow and then they got hot right before the trade deadline when a certain somebody was rumored to come to the Yankees, but they didn't trade him because they felt like they were in the wild card race. That fell through, but now he's a free agent,
It's not
and
happening, Teddy.
that
Not
will be
happening.
that will be talked about in future episodes because when the World Series is over, I will be going through all 30 teams in the MLB, telling you what they need, who to sign, who to re-sign, and all that. So if you're wondering who I'm talking about, stay tuned.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been here,
If you're not a member, if you're not a member and you're not in the baseball chat, you missing out.
yep, for sure. Let's go to center field. We got Brenton Doyle from the Rockies, Michael Harris from the Braves, and Alec Thomas from the Diamondbacks. Who you got?
Got another Diamondback.
Mm,
Another Diamondback. Alec Thomas. He played well in this postseason as well. He's
yes.
he's that's another guy to highlight for this Diamondbacks team, man. They have their 2 starting pitchers are just awesome. Awesome. And then the way the lineup is set up, it's perfect for them. And Alec Thomas has been helping out. Um, Being where he is in center field, he makes so many key plays out in center field. He made one of the I think it was a double play I saw that they had this year. I can't remember who they played, but I wasn't expecting that to be made, and he bombed it. I was like,
Yeah.
dog, this dude is ridiculous. This dude is ridiculous. He If he don't win one this year, then I don't know what's up. But Alec Thomas, I believe you deserve to have a Gold Glove, my guy.
Yeah, playing center field and Chase at Chase Field is not easy with that big wall in center.
It's
And
not, and he
center field,
made it. He made it look like it was simple.
yeah, it's kind of like playing left field at Fenway with the Green Monster. And there was some balls that Castellanos hit this NLCS that I thought were getting over his head. He just booked it, got there, made the play looks easy. But I'm going with Michael Harris. Anybody that can come into the league and put Acuna to a different position and making the plays that he was making this year, like that play to end game 2 in the NLDS to double up Harper
That was
at
tough.
first
That was
base.
tough. That was
Oh
tough.
man. And he's been doing that all season. Man. He's got range, he's got the arm. I'm going Michael Harris.
That's hey, I can't argue with that. I'm just going with Alec. I just like the way Alec plays. I like the way he plays, man. I feel like he really deserves one.
Yeah. Let's go to right field. We've got Mookie Betts from the Dodgers, Fernando Tatis Jr. from the Padres, and Lane Thomas from the Nationals. I know who you're going to go with, but I am going with Fernando Tatis Jr. This man is a converted right fielder. He was playing shortstop last year. He was making a ton of errors. And the Padres said, you know what? You have a plus arm. We're going to put you out in right field. Let's see how that works. Man, nobody ran on him. Nobody was running on him. Even in situations where I'm like, yo, why aren't you running? And then I remembered who's out there. And I'm like,
Exactly.
and and he was getting to balls down the line, like balls that are usually over the first baseman's head, clear doubles, right? He was getting to them quick, playing it off the wall, and getting it in quick. And he was holding guys to first. He made some incredible throws to home. He had the highest throw by an outfielder. I think it was like 105 miles per hour.
That's ridiculous.
Incredible, incredible. He did he did get caught doing some illegal substances, but
Mm-hmm.
we're not here to talk about that, right? He served his suspension. Um,
He
he
did.
did
He did.
what he did, and I was one to bash him, but what I saw him do out there in right field this season, I think it's Gold Glove worthy. So I'm going with Fernando Tatis Jr.
Teddy, you caught me in a bind, man. Caught me in a bind. If you did, if for those who don't know, my favorite player in baseball is Mookie Betts. He used to be a Boston Red Sox. He won a World Series championship with us in 2018,
MVP.
and deservingly so. He had, to me, one of his best seasons all around this year with the LA Dodgers.
Yeah.
And as much as I want to give this award to him, he's in another position. So either way, he's getting the Gold Glove. But I have to go with Fernando Tatis in this. I have to. I have to. I have to. There's no way I can give Mookie. There's no way I can give Mookie this award over Fernando Tatis. Like Teddy said, I get it. I get it. He got suspended for illegal substances. I understand it. But it's no denying what this man does on the field. It's no denying what he does. It's like I don't think it's as magnetized as this guy, but it's like when Barry Bonds broke the home run record. It's like, all right, it's Barry. It's just don't pitch it to him. Just don't pitch it to him. Just do whatever you can to not give him an opportunity to hit the ball. You better do whatever you can to make sure you don't hit it to where he is. You better hit it somewhere else. Do not hit it out. Don't hit it out right field.
No
Don't
fly
hit it out
zone.
right field because you are in danger of getting not yourself put out, but if you got somebody on base, you got a you got a big chance of getting everyone out and you going both of y'all going back to the bench. So
No.
it if you don't pick Fernando Tatis, then I don't know what you're doing right now. If you vote for Mookie, I'm cool with it, but I still say you should give it to Fernando Tatis.
All right. Let's go to the pitchers. We've got Jesus Luzardo from the Marlins, Taiwan Walker from the Phillies, and Zach Wheeler, also from the Phillies. Who you got?
I got Zach the wheel guy, wheel man Zach. He got it, man. He look. I, I'm not. I don't think it was his fault. The reason why they lost, he didn't help much, but He ain't the reason. I named the reasons already. So Zach Wheeler, because you've had a great season this year. I had your how many strikeouts you had this year written down, but I'm
It's a
not
ton.
I'm not here to talk about the stats. I just know you play outstanding this year, and you play outstanding in the postseason. So Zach Wheeler, you deserve a Gold Glove.
I'm going with Jesus Luzardo. Um, the Phillies just broke my heart. They broke my heart. I chose them. I chose them after they took out the Braves, which was my original prediction to win the entire thing. And then I went with them, told everybody I was rooting for them like it was the freaking Yankees out there.
Yeah,
And
but that's because Bryce Harper is your guy. So
it's
I
my
get
guy Hopper, man. I've been a Harper fan. If you guys don't know, um, since he was 16, 17 years old, right? I remember seeing him on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and there's only two guys at that age that were really on the cover of Sports Illustrated back in the day. It was Bryce Harper and LeBron James. So the dude Harper went out, dropped out of high school, went to JUCO, and then declared for the draft. Got drafted, made his MLB debut at 18 years old, and the
Mhm.
dude has been balling ever since.
Ever since.
Oh my!
Ever since. He just missing a World Series title. That's all it is. He just missing that.
And
Could have
that
got
breaks.
it if he stayed. Could have got it if he stayed in Washington, but
Yeah, but we're talking about Jesus Luzardo, man. He was a smooth fielder off that mound. Uh,
mhm.
he's coming off defending bunts, defending the comebackers up the middle, like it was his job, because it is. These pitchers, me as a coach, I I put my pitchers through some pretty intense line drives and ground balls. I be I be swinging it at the man, and I know it's tough. It's tough. You've got to worry about throwing a strike, and then that strike that you throw could possibly come back to you a little harder than you threw it back in. So I'm going with Lizardo on this one. Now to the utility position. This is the first year that they are putting this as a title this year, because there's been so many guys that play different positions, and these guys were the top three at it. You had Mookie Betts from the Dodgers, Tommy Edman from the Cardinals, and Ha-Seong Kim from the Padres. I'm going with Mookie Betts. The man played shortstop. He played second base. He played center field. He played left field. He played right field. And he played them all at a very high
High
level.
level.
Man, you I mean, he came up as an infielder in the Red Sox organization, a second baseman. Um, and I believe he's a Wilson guy, and he did so good that they gave him an infield modeled glove. They gave him an infield modeled glove this year as a signature series. They don't do
That
that. They don't do that for any guy in the MLB that's
nope.
playing different positions, man. Mookie Mookie gets the nod for me for the utility.
Hey, you explained everything. I don't need to say anything else. All I'm going to say is Mookie Betts, utility gold glove winner. Plain and simple.
Bang. And that wraps up the National League. Let's go to the American League.
Yeah, our league now.
Yep. It's a shame that none of our teams made the postseason. It's weird. It's weird. I'll tell you that. Going
It's
into
a
the postseason,
it's a shame that we were fighting to not be last, and we ended up being last.
and man, am I glad that we won that fight. Let me tell.
We choked away at the end. We were on a win streak, and then in famous Red Sox fashion, just start losing games. Oh, okay.
My guy Joe comes through with a super chat. BWT live. If you're watching, join the baseball chat. Become a member.
Facts. There you
Thank you
go.
for $5 super chat, man. Without you, this wouldn't be possible, brother. So
That's
thank you.
facts, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you a lot, man. You didn't have to do that. The fact that you're up right now watching this show means the world to me, bro.
Coming up on 10 years, Joe. Since we've known each other, coming up on 10 years, man.
Wow. That's great. And I'm actually meeting up with Joe tomorrow night after I coach. Meeting up with Joe tomorrow night.
That's all right, man.
Get to watch some Thursday night football and a basketball game. All right. Let's get into this AL. Catcher. We've got Jonah Heim from the Rangers, Alejandro Kirk from the Blue Jays, and Adley Rutschman from the Orioles. I'm going Adley Rutschman. He is incredible. The way that he plays, his presence, being so young, and commanding the game, how he does. He led the staff to an amazing year, right? The Orioles were trash. They were trash. So bad. And for them to win 100 games this year, yeah, they came into the postseason, got the broom. But that's just a learning experience for him, and I'm sure he's been in the lab ever since. He's got that type of drive that he's not gonna let this be the last time that he gets into the postseason. And hate to say it, but I think the Orioles are gonna stick around for quite some time, man. Catcher is a position that is very, very important in the game. And the Orioles have a great one. I'm going Adley.
Yep, I'm going Adley as well. I don't think anyone other than Jerry predicted the Orioles to win our division this year.
Yeah.
And they won it without a doubt. Smoked it away. They were leading from the front pretty much all season long. And they never really took their foot off the gas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, as you can see, they didn't finish the job in the postseason. Got swept, but happens to the best of them. And like I said, they were in prime position this year. Most people were probably expecting to be like third in the division at best.
I did.
And I mean, you know who I had third, but clearly that didn't happen. Clearly that didn't happen. But instead of just being third, it was like, nah, that ain't good enough. That ain't good enough. We want to solidify this and make sure we win. And he's one of the reasons. Being so young, he reminds me of. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is comparable to him, but I'm just saying just his presence and how the team rallied around him. It reminds me of Brock Purdy. Remember when Brock Purdy had came in last year? You know, he's the last pick of the draft. No one's expecting him to come in and do anything. Comes in, wins what 7 straight games, and then gets hurt in the NFC Championship game and goes out. This guy comes into a team who was terrible last year, and as a catcher, shows that leadership and his ability at such a young age, and helps this team win the AL East Division. Good job. You get a Gold Glove this year, young guy. You deserve it.
Definitely. Let's go to first base. We got Nathaniel Lowe from the Rangers. We have Ryan Mountcastle from the Orioles, and this is a surprise. Anthony Rizzo from the Yankees. That was when the list came out. I didn't think he was gonna. I didn't think he was gonna be on it because he was.
There are 2 surprises on this entire list. One from your team and one from mine. So I was not expecting to see a Red Sox up here at all. At all. But here we are.
Yeah. Who you got at first?
Nate. I got Nate Lowe. Nate Lowe, man. This team is in the World Series right now. And who and me and Teddy predicted to win this in 6. And they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players on this team that's in position to win a Gold Glove. That lets you know how good this team really is. And Nate has been one of the shining stars of this team. I think if you want to give it to someone who deserves it, and you see exactly how well their team has played, I say you got to give it to Nate because he's played great all season long and in the postseason as well. So Nate, or like the late great Nate Dog. So you got it, man.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. He's been playing some phenomenal defense over there at first base, taking away extra base hits. Again, saving his infielders from errors with picking balls up off the dirt. For all you weirdos out there.
Yeah, we're not here for all the pause moments. We talking baseball right now. There's no other terminology to talk about this, so we kind of have to say that.
But yeah, man, he's impressed me a lot, and he's been a very, very key part of their dominance this postseason, offensively and defensively. We'll go to second base. We've got Mauricio Dubon from the Astros, Andres Jimenez from the Guardians, and Marcus Semien from the Rangers. I'm going Marcus Semien. This man has lived up to his contract that he signed last year. Coming off of a season with the Blue Jays to where he had, I believe it was 45 to 50 home runs 2 years ago, and just staying the course in Texas, and just flashing the glove with his shortstop Corey Seager. That is an incredible middle infield, and as a middle infielder myself, I love watching guys like him go out there and play the position, seeing how easy he makes it look. Um, because I know firsthand it is not easy at all.
It makes it look
Um,
like he's taking candy from a baby.
yeah, pretty much, man. So I'm going Marcus Simeon.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I looked at the other two guys. Mauricio had a good season for the Astros, without a doubt. Astros were in position to win, but as you can see, Marcus's team is the one that put them out. So thank you, Rangers, for that. No more
And,
Astros cheating.
oh my goodness,
um,
you the
and
trash.
then Andres. Andres pretty much did what he needed to do as well for the Cleveland, for the Guardians, man. But I mean, Marcus, like you said, that middle infield is ridiculous. How can you not give it to one of these guys? And if his name is up there, you give it to him. I'm sorry, I get it. It's five of them up here. I think all five of them might get a Gold Glove. it's really that it's really that simple. But he had a great season this year, and they look to be in position to go win the World Series. And he's one of the integral parts of that team. So I say give it to him.
Yep. Now we go to shortstop. We've got Carlos Correa from the Twins, Corey Seager from the Rangers, and my rookie, Anthony Volpe. All you haters always all season were like, oh, this kid, he's nothing, he's not. Dude, you guys were trying to compare him to Jeter. There's not gonna be another Jeter. Ever. Ever. This kid grew up as a Yankee fan. This kid was going to Yankee games, looking up to Derek Jeter. And then his rookie season, he starts off struggling, but he never let it go to the defensive part of his game.
Mm-hmm.
He was always a plus defender, right? But with that being said, it's going to shock a couple people.
Not me.
I'm going Carlos Correa. He has one of the best arms at that position.
In all of baseball,
All of
not just in the AL, all of baseball.
all of baseball. And for him to be 6'3", 6'4", and to be able to move the way that he does, um, the heads up plays that he's made in the ALDS when they were playing the Blue Jays and the ball got by the third baseman and Bo Bichette tried to score a run. He was at second base and he came out of nowhere and just slung it on the run, an absolute dime to the catcher to get Bo Bichette at the plate. Um, but don't get me wrong, man. Corey Seager is one smooth dude. He is a smooth dude. He was getting to some balls in the dirt, in the holes, where I'm like, damn, he got to that? Like, and he just makes it look so, like, so easy because he's not the fastest guy. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the strongest guy.
Mm-hmm.
But his footwork,
Immaculate.
kids, if you're looking up to, if you want to look up somebody to uh, follow your game to, look at Corey Seager, look at Carlos Correa, and look at Anthony Volpe too. Because these guys, yeah, I'm a shortstop, and these guys flash the leather like no other. Who you got?
Smooth operator. I'm going with Corey Seager. Going with the smooth guy, man. He plays like he's out there giving jazz lessons, man. He's out there. It's not so upbeat. It's just perfect timing almost every single time he does it. You got to give it to Corey, man. Corey C has been playing phenomenal this year, so I'm giving it to the smooth operator, Corey Seager.
Yeah. um, you got to look out for the guys that don't wear sleeves and don't wear wristbands and don't wear the big chains, and because they are just out there
To
to
play.
play and take your soul. And,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what Corey Seager does, man. Um, but I'm sticking with Correa just because the
I, I,
flash.
I figured you would go with Carlos Correa. That's why I said I wasn't surprised. I
Yeah.
wasn't. I was not at all. But hey, if anyone knows me well enough knows that I try to be a smooth kind of person. So this is kind of my style. So I figured, hey, Corey, great season, man. Great season. I think you should get Gold Glove. But hey, I wouldn't be mad if they give the call to Correa. But I like Corey, man.
So let's get to third base. We've got Alex Bregman from the Astros, Matt Chapman from the Blue Jays, and this one shocked me. Jose Ramirez from the Guardians. Who you got?
I don't think this was one. This was one of my harder ones to choose. Wait, we doing left field again?
Third base.
Third base. Oh yeah, tripping. Um, I gave this one to Matt Chapman.
Okay.
Uh, Now I believe if you look at the well, this is another team that has five guys on here that could easily win a Gold Glove. Um, and I don't think he's the best defender either of the five guys that's out there, but I think what he did this year was still great for third base. And I wouldn't like I said, I'm fine if someone picks Alex for what he did with the Houston Astros this year, but I'm gonna go with Matt. I think Matt played great enough to be able to. I mean, he played great enough to even be considered to be a finalist in this. So I say give it to Matt.
I'm gonna have to go with Alex Bregman. Um, the dude came up as a shortstop. I've been watching this kid since he was at LSU playing short. I'll never forget this one play that he made going up the middle. He fielded it with his forehand, and then he went behind the back and then threw it to first. In an actual game. This wasn't practice. This wasn't like some film that he was doing for ESPN. It
So you
was in
telling me he out there playing like Patrick Mahomes on the baseball field?
it was in an actual game.
That's ridiculous.
And you say Patrick Mahomes, he threw a bounce pass to second base this year. I think it was against your team, the Red Sox. There was a ball that was hit to third base with a runner on first, and he's been talking about it a lot. Just the angle is just weird to make that throw. So he literally bounced the ball to second base. This
Don't
dude,
like don't like the fact that you had to remind me it was on my team, but it's cool.
man, this dude is smooth. This dude is smooth, man. And for him to come up as a shortstop and then go to third base, that's tough. That's
Yeah,
tough.
that's tough.
And it wasn't because he lacked the range at short or anything like that. It was just because of the team that he went to, right? He had Correa when he got drafted, and I already told you what I think about Correa. But this dude, man, I love the way he plays the game. He's gritty. He's and he his favorite player is my favorite player of all time, Derek Jeter. Right? I was I was in yes, yes, Jovan, yes. Um, I think it was on game 5 of the ALCS, right? He was coming off the field and he did a post game press conference with the guys over at Fox. He did it
Mhm.
with A-Rod, Ortiz, and Jeter. Um, and before he left the the podium, um, Ortiz just being the dude that he is, like, oh, do you want a picture? And he knew that Bregman was, Jeter was Bregman's favorite player, so he stood there and was a photographer for them. And I know, man, I'm jealous. Like, why can't that be me?
I bet. I
Why can't
bet.
it be me,
I
man?
bet. Like my two of my favorite players, and that should be me.
Right? Um, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go with Bregman on this one at third base.
So good.
Uh,
I knew Bryce Harper was your guy, but now I know he other guy is now. So
yeah, yeah. I've got some dudes. Got some dudes that I've been following for years. And those two are, like Jovan said in this comment, these two of my favorite players outside of the Yankees. Um,
of course,
let's go to left field. We've got Austin Hayes for the Orioles. We got Stephen Kwan for the Guardians and Dalton Varsho from the Blue Jays. I've got Stephen Kwan winning this award in left field. This dude, talk about gritty. This dude is gritty out there on the field. Um, Offensively, just he plays so aggressive, and then he takes that out into left field, and he just covers so much ground out there. And they have that big wall in left field in I think it's Progressive Field that it's called, unless they renamed it after after the name change. I'm not 100% sure, but
I can't remember.
yeah, um, I was really impressed the way that he plays the game. It's a way that everybody should play the game. He's another one. Um, no sleeves, no wristbands, no big chains. Gotta watch out for these guys, man.
Got you. We're supposed to be rivals. We shouldn't be agreeing this much. We really shouldn't. But I gotta go with Steven as well. For all the things that you named, and to me, he's had a spectacular season this year. Um, I would love for the Red Sox to do whatever they can to try and trade for him, but I don't see it happening. Of course, you don't give away a player like this, especially in the same conference. So he's played great this year. So he deservingly as a finalist, and I believe he should win the left field Gold Glove.
All right, now we go to center field. We've got Kevin Kiermaier from the Blue Jays. We've got Luis Robert from the White Sox. And then we have Julio Rodriguez from the Mariners. We got
This Julio, his name sounds familiar. If I remember correctly, this is the same Julio that was in the home run derby.
yes.
Why would I give it to anyone else other than Julio? This man has been great on both sides of the diamond. He's been doing everything he needs to do to help his team out. Now, I mean, the Mariners aren't clearly doing anything right now in the postseason, but Julio has played out of his mind this year, offensively and defensively. So I'm giving it to Julio. That guy played very well this season. He was, like I said, he was in the home run derby, almost won. He was in the finals, but of course he lost. But don't matter. He and defensively for it's there's only but so many players in baseball that are good on both sides, that are good defensively and offensively. You got guys like Mookie Betts, really good. You got guys like Aaron Judge, who's known for being a home run hitter, but people don't understand how good of a defensive player that he is. Um, and then you got, I mean, as Carl like to say, Goat Tani, Shohei Otani. You know what he does as far as being a pitcher and hitting. He's a unicorn out there.
Yeah.
And Julio, I believe, is right there in that conversation as one of the best players that can play great defensively and offensively. So I'll give it to Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. Um, he was robbing home runs left and right. He even robbed one time. He came down like he didn't, and then he showed the ball, and the crowd went crazy. He's a showman.
He plays to the crowd, man. He plays
He's a
to the
show.
crowd. It's like The Rock.
Yeah. And every time he did that, he just no
Oh,
fly zone.
that's Dante Harlish. You know, remember
Yeah.
the X Factor for the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay,
Yep.
okay. I like that. I like that.
Yep. In baseball, we they do that for a no fly zone. Um,
That's tough.
and yeah. Yeah. Robert had a great season.
He
But
did.
the way that Julio commands that outfield, man, and center is different, and I think he deserves that Gold Glove this season.
Hey, as my guy Chesson Better Rock would say, it's different.
Definitely. Um, now we go to right field. We've got Adolis Garcia from the Rangers. We've got Kyle Tucker from the Astros, and we have Alex Verdugo from the Red Sox. Your Red Sox. Who you got?
As much as I want to give it to my guy Alex, as much as I want to, man, I want to be biased right here and give it to Alex. Right. I gave it to Kyle Tucker. Um, I think he was one of the best right fielders in the game all year long. And to me, I believe he played the best right field out of anybody all season long. Just from what I saw, and even from what I saw in the postseason, he made some key plays. I would give it to him. Um, Now I love the fact that Adolis Garcia is up there, and I'm almost certain that's probably who you might be going with. Because I know it's not going to be Alex. I know for sure it's not gonna be Alex. I'm not even giving Alex that. He played great this year, but it didn't really amount to anything for a team. But he played great defensively. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love what you're doing. Keep playing great defensively. You can help us get far, but I'm giving it to Kyle Tucker.
Verdugo was on a team that at multiple points in the season had the most errors in all of MLB.
Mm-hmm.
For him to even be up there It's shocking to me. And if Aaron Judge didn't miss 2 months of the season, 2.5 months of the season, whatever he missed with that broken toe,
Yeah, he'd be there.
he Verdugo would not be there. Um, Garcia, amazing out there. He's got one of the strongest arms in the major league. Yeah, Jovan thinks Verdugo should have won. Um, but that's just that dirty water, man. I'm telling you, it does crazy things, man. It's that dirty.
You see that? So good.
But I'm gonna have to go with Kyle Tucker.
What?
Yes.
What?
Did you see the way he robbed that home run in the ALCS?
Yeah, you think I didn't see that?
Man, that was like I said it in the chat. That was the most nonchalant robbery I've ever seen watching this game. He is one of the most underrated players in this league because you have guys like Jose Altuve, Jeremy
And that's
Pena.
what they always talk about Jose Altuve, and deservingly so. He's great at what he does. Don't get me wrong, but this guy needs more mention.
Yes, he's behind Altuve, who's a great player. You got Pena, rookie year, wins World Series MVP. Yordan Alvarez, one of the best hitters in the game. Alex Breck. Then you've got and he's probably like the fifth superstar on his team.
Probably so. Probably
And,
so.
and he's again, in baseball, we watch out for a couple things, right? The guys with no sleeves, but you really got to watch out for the guys who don't wear batting gloves. Those guys,
Just don't care.
oh man, they are a different type of beast. And this guy, he's been doing great defensively all season. It carried over to the postseason, struggling offensively, but he did not let it carry onto the defensive side of the ball. So hats off to him for that, because that's tough. And that's one of the toughest things to do as a baseball player. Struggling offensively, not being able to help your team, but still going out there and playing your position and doing what you have to do to put your team in the best position to win. I'm rocking with Kyle Tucker on this one.
Wow.
We'll go to pitcher. We have Jose Barrios from the Blue Jays, Sonny Gray from the Twins, and Pablo Lopez from the Twins. Sonny Gray had a resurgence out there in Minnesota. He played for the Yankees a couple years ago. He said he couldn't handle it. I'm not going to completely bash him because he said he was going through some mental health issues, and I know how tough that can be. But he bounced back tremendously. So hats off to him and his teammate Pablo Lopez. But I'm gonna have to give it to Jose Barrios. This dude,
Jose.
this dude is smooth coming off the mound. And being in the division, you play him a lot, right? You see what he does, and he deserves a Gold Glove. There's not much else I can say.
I want us to steal him. I know it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen. But he's so great that he can play well no matter where he goes and make a huge impact on that team.
Yes.
This Blue Jays team was really good because some of the things that he did on the diamond. I don't see how you give it to anyone else. I really mean that with him. I look like Teddy said, those the other two pitchers played with Sonny Gray, phenomenal, phenomenal year, and you got Pablo, great, great, but it for me it doesn't amount to what Jose Barrios just did. So Jose, you deserve it.
And our last category of the night, utility for the American League. We got Mauricio Dubon from the Astros, Zach McKinstry from the Tigers. Shocking. Shout out to Carl. Um, and Taylor Walls from the Rays. Who you got?
This one's gonna shock you. I believe this one's gonna shock you. I'm giving it to Zach McKinstry.
Whoa.
I'm giving it to Zach.
Hey, okay.
Now we all know how bad the Detroit Tigers are. I get it. I get it. And it may come as a shock that he's even on this list. But he, to me, was by far their best defender all season long. He's the reason why they were even in games most of the time.
Stop the cap.
I'm glad you know I was trolling because that's not my actual choice. I'm going with Mauricio. I'm going with Mauricio Dubon, man. I'm sorry. I had to get one troll off before I ended the show. I had to get one. I had to do one. But Mauricio, man, Mauricio deserves it, man. Like I said, another Houston Astros player played very well this year. Play well in going into the playoffs as a utility guy, playing multiple positions. Now, I still believe that Mookie Betts played the best as a utility guy all season long. But if you're asking me who would be the second best, I would give it to Mauricio. I think Mauricio was the second best utility guy all season long.
Yep. And we agree with each other again. Dubon was one of the top guys. He was able to move around all season. He filled in for Altuve when he went down with an injury. He missed like a month, and he continued to just make the plays. Right. You look for a guy that is able to move around and still play at a high level. Um, as as a coach myself, I always tell my guys like because you never know what situation you're going to be in, um, and if you can play multiple positions, you're a bigger asset to the team.
Stay ready so you don't ever have to get ready.
Exactly. And this dude, he was great. There's no other words that I can say, and I think he deserves a Gold Glove this season.
We agree here. Mauricio, great job this year, man. Sorry that you guys, well, sorry, not sorry that you guys got put out the playoffs, but
I'm not sorry at all. I am not sorry at all.
yeah, bye bye Astros. But you had a great year, so you deserve a Gold Glove.
Yeah. Do you have any last words before we get out of here?
Miami Heat, I don't like how he won the game tonight. I don't. I know it's the first game of the season. I get it, but I don't like that. I don't like being up 19 points and you only win it by one. I don't like that. Seems like it's gonna be a long season again for me.
Yeah, man. You know where you're coming Friday night. The Garden, kid.
Bruh.
Yeah, man. Celtics start off the season with a win. Team looks great. Porzingis with 30 points in his debut. Drew Holiday was coming up with some great blocks. Like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Derek
Crazy.
White, great. I'm interested to see what these guys do in the season. Again, before we get out of here, guys, make sure you are tuning in to all the shows on the network. The Refuse to Lose show with my guy Davey Dollars, Joe, and Tomo. And then we have CTC, Carl Talking College, with Carl. We've got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. We've got the Joe Jordan Show, and Dave's got his own show, the Doghouse, Dave's Doghouse. He gives you. Dave, why don't you tell us about your show?
All right. So when I originally made the show, it was to talk about all the guys that are doing bad, or not even just guys, but anyone that did something bad throughout the week. It could have been a sports analyst. It could even be one of you. It could have been somebody that said something crazy in the chat and it didn't work out for them. The DoorDash. But that's how it started. But now I do my best to highlight those that are doing great as well. So I talk about the guys that's doing great. You know, if you go check out the episode today, I had Lamar Jackson on there, who had one of the best games all season long, and one of the best games of his career. I also highlight Kirk Cousins, who's been 3-1 on Monday night the last 4 times he's played, and he happened to have a win against my San Francisco 49ers on Monday night. But in the doghouse, I put in Eric Bieniemy. You know, he came over from the Kansas City Chiefs, and you know the Commanders only put up 7 points against the Giants. So, yeah, stinks. Bad job, bad job. So my show is just to highlight those that are doing good and to talk about those guys that are doing bad, and hopefully they can improve so they can be let out the doghouse.
Yep. All right, Dave. I appreciate you for coming on here and giving your predictions for the World Series and all the Gold Glove Awards. This won't be the last time you're on this show. Looking forward to the next time. Everybody else, peace.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.